today. I'm literally in the middle of the wilderness. I'm gonna walk around and show you where I camped last night. Okay, I told you a day or so ago, and I was packing my hiking gear so that I could go on a hike. And I packed enough for 3 days, and yesterday afternoon I set off on my hike. And last night we actually arrived at this beautiful spot, but it was like almost dark, so we rushed and grabbed everything that we could. We grabbed the water that we needed to cook with and to eat or to drink, and we put up the tent and all that stuff. And then it was dark, like it was really dark. So we had a campfire, and it was absolutely fantastic. And I knew that this was here, and that's why we had walked to it, but we couldn't see anything. So now I'm right in front of it, and I'm going to show you what it is. Okay, this is Arkansas, and this is the Winding Stairs Trail, part of the Eagle Rock Loop trail system. And just look at what is behind me. I hope you can see it because it is freaking gorgeous. So behind me is like the biggest swimming hole I've ever seen. Like, it's beautiful. It goes all the way from down there by the waterfall. You can see the whole waterfall way over there, and the sun is just freaking beautiful. And then it's all of this area, and this whole area is like a deep pool. Like, I haven't touched the bottom yet. I've already been swimming. And it goes all the way over. The farthest I've gone is that little outcropping past the log, but I believe you can go all the way around, and there's like cliffs that you can jump off of and areas you can climb and just see. It's super beautiful. Yeah, it's super beautiful. So I woke up this morning and I'm sore because I slept in a tent. I'll have to tell you how my gear worked. It worked really well. Hold on, I'm going to sit down next to the water. I might get some action shots in a little while. I have a waterproof GoPro camera holder, and maybe I can make like a separate vlog or something about the with action footage, because hopefully I'll be here for a while this morning. So okay, the stuff that I brought into camp, I had a big Osprey Exos bag, and it was filled to the brim with all kinds of stuff. And when we got to camp last night, we opened up the tent and slept in it. It was like a one-person tent, but we slept two because I like to get kind of close. And it was warm, so it was sticky and everything like that. And we brought a jet boil so I could cook some food. And what did I have last night? Lasagna. Like, you add 2 cups of boiling water and wait, and then it just kind of becomes food. And it was not bad, actually. And it tasted like the yummiest thing I had all night because I hadn't eaten on our trail. We walked, I think, 12 miles yesterday, maybe 11. And I'm just freaking happy that I did it. Like, I'm not sore today. My feet are a little sore. But I'm not really sore today. My back doesn't hurt. And I was thinking about this the whole trail because, like, okay, so when you go on a hiking trail or when you go on a hike, a lot of times you just have lots and lots of free time to just think, right? And so I kept on thinking, this is amazing that I can do this hike, because the last time I tried to do this hike might have been like 7 years ago. Like, it was a while ago. I've been on this trail before, but I never made it to the swimming hole because the swimming hole is like 12 miles in. And I was just floored that I could keep up and that I could handle the walk and that I could handle the bag that I was carrying and everything like that, because I don't know, I don't talk about it a lot because it's old news, it's history, but when I was like 23 or 24, I ruptured a disc in my back, and for like the next 3 years it was hell. Like, total hell. Like, I wanted to die every day of my life. It was awful. Like, I took tons and tons of pain medications. I think at one point I was taking like 24 pills a day in pain medicine. It was stupid. And I remember I would go to work because I worked 8 hours a day. I was a CPA. So I'd work 8 hours a day at the firm, and I would count how many pills I had left on my desk at my office, because I was like, I can't take those, I'm gonna need them later. I can't take those, I'm gonna need them later. Okay, I can take these two. Like, it was so bad. And I remember all of that, and I remember that I couldn't do anything. Like, I would get home from work and I would put a pizza in the oven, and then I would lay down, and then I would take the pizza out of the oven and I would eat, and then I would lay down, and that was life, and it sucked. And I remember after I had some back surgery, and after the back surgery, it had been about a year, and I tried to do this hike, and I made it in, I think, 4 miles, and I couldn't go anymore. It was like, even though it had been a year and I had back surgery, it had, like, I wasn't strong, and like the surgery, you know, wasn't 100% healed, probably, something like that. And I remember thinking, I'm never going to get to see this beautiful area. So, okay, so long story short, this is like, I don't know, the culmination of a long, long time, a culmination of a big journey, a culmination of, I can't believe all of that I went through in the past, and now I'm here. So for me, I want to bounce up and down like giddy schoolgirl, not just because it's super pretty here, but because I can't believe I freaking did it. And so we're about 1/3 of the way through the hike, and we'll probably do, there's a little private jet that just flew overhead. We'll probably do about half the hike today, and then we'll have like a little less than 1/3, you know, we'll have like 1/4 of the hike left tomorrow, because then we got to go home. But today, this morning at least, I'm going to spend my time right here. In this wonderful thing. It's like, it's got to be almost 80 degrees already, and the sun is shining. I feel like I'm getting a suntan, and yeah, all I want to do is enjoy it. So I'll probably have some breakfast. I'll lay out on some sweet spot on the rocks over here. I'll swim. It's going to be a lot of fun. I wonder if I can climb in right now a little bit and show you. It's so beautiful. And let's see, this morning I think I'm having macaroni and cheese for breakfast. But it doesn't even matter. Right now I'm really hungry, but all I want to do is get back in the water because it was so pretty. So, all I want to do is get back in the water. It's so pretty. And some of the other hikers might join us in a little bit, but I think I'll keep you to myself, so. Like, okay, so we arrived at this spot last night. It was late. And so we smelled fire, so we knew that some other people were here in the general area. Oh my gosh, this is super nice. It's like almost flat. It's almost a chair. We knew there were other hikers out here because we could smell the campfire, but of course we couldn't meet them. It was pitch dark. Remember, pitch dark when we got here. And so this morning, I got up because it was just so pretty outside. I could tell from the sunshine, and so I came out and I saw a couple of them, and I think there's 3 hikers, maybe more, down the way a little bit. And last night I was getting water right before it got pitch dark. Like, I got here and the first thing I did was get water, and I was able to see them. They were like climbing on the cliffs and stuff, which I really want to do. You know how much I love to rock climb, and like this little climbing sculpture of goodness right here is, I don't know if I will, because I don't want to scratch up my legs and knees, and I have a scene next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, next week Wednesday, so I don't want to get all scraped up, but man, they are just itching to be climbed on. Anyway, I saw them climbing some rocks further down the way. So this watering hole literally goes, I told you, all the way from that waterfall way back here. This is like the main swimming hole because it's super deep, but it literally goes all the way around the corner and to a whole nother section of the cliffs and stuff. So there's like more cliffs you can climb on and jump from and stuff like that over there. It's just so pretty. Like I could spend the rest of the day here. But I won't because I'm not lazy and we're going to make this trail. Like, so step one of my goal was to make it to the watering hole and not be like so bad that like somebody'd have to like evac me out. and other things that I've wanted to do this trip. I wanted to find some yellow flowers, and I did. I successfully found some yellow flowers and took a picture of them with me, me holding some yellow flowers. And let's see, I would like to look for a heart-shaped rock because I think that sounds fun. So I've been on the lookout for a heart-shaped rock, something that I could keep and maybe write down the date because this is, when I went, because it's important to me, and then it's just something little I can keep. Not big, like a little rock like that size. So I'm on the lookout for a heart-shaped rock. And I will look for more yellow flowers today. And then I'll look for other beauty. Can you just see how beautiful it is here? There's no way there's just no way that the camera can do justice to it. I just want to look up in the sky. It's super clear. You can see the mountain ridge line. It just makes you want to lay here all day and just stare at it. Yeah, it just makes you want to stare at it. So that's it for now. I'm sure there were all kinds of things I was excited to tell you about, and then I hit play or I hit record, and then I totally forget. But I'm here, and it's gorgeous, and it's time to go swimming. Time to go swimming or eat. Oh God, food, swim, such a toss-up. I'm not sure. Probably swim first. Okay, you guys are awesome, and I hope you take care, and don't worry, you'll get lots more info about the hiking trip, so I hope you stay tuned. Okay. Mwah. Bye. Hey. Hi, Nala. I missed you too. Hi, Max. I missed you too. Hi, guys. This is my closeout of the hike that I did 26 miles on the Eagle Rock Loop Trail in Arkansas. Okay, so first thing you got to know is how the hell do you get to such an awesome place like I got to, right? So if you saw the earlier part of this vlog, if you fast forwarded, go back and look at it. But the first part of this vlog was all at the swimming hole. And the swimming hole is like 10 miles in from where we started, and we started at Missouri Falls. So Google it, Missouri Falls. And it's a part of a big trail called the Eagle Rock Loop Trail. And it was fabulous. It was everything I wanted to see. It was amazing that I could make it there. The water was clear and warm and perfect. The trail was fantastic. It was just something I've been wanting to do a long, long time. So I'll tell you the whole trail experience, and hopefully you just get to enjoy it with me. I'll post some more pictures on Instagram and Twitter as well. Maybe slide a couple in if I can figure out how to edit that stuff. But I started at Missouri Falls, so you have to drive from where I'm located all the way to Arkansas, and right when you get into Arkansas, I think you go through Fort Smith, and then there's this little bitty town called Mena. I believe it's called Mena, M-E-N-A. And when you get into that little bitty town, there's a road that you take off, and you go down this road basically until it ends. And at first it's a regular paved highway, and then it winds and curves, and then it turns into gravel, and then it winds and turns, and it's like really bad gravel. And then finally you start seeing signs for Missouri Falls, the Little Missouri Trail, and then we parked at Missouri Falls. And if you've never been to Missouri Falls in Arkansas, it's freaking gorgeous. I don't even think we took pictures of it, because I've been there once before, and it's literally just like a big, big area of rapids, and they go down this big waterfall area, and it's just beautiful. You can crawl on it, you can walk in it, you can jump around on the rocks, so you can take pictures. There's little sitting areas, so that you can, just watch it and enjoy it. It's like a state park-ish. I'm not sure if it's a state park or not. But it's got pavilions, it's got, places you can grill out, like it's really there. But that's where the hike started. And you just follow the trail. And I mean, we went off trail maybe 3 or 4 times total, just by accident. But the trail's really well marked. They've got the little white hash on the trees, so that you can always see where the trail is. And then once in a while you cross the river. You cross the river probably a dozen times. It's really windy. I'll check and make sure that you can see me, because I don't want to fuck up my camera. It's really windy today. You can see it. It crosses the river, the Little Missouri Falls River, like a dozen times. And sometimes it crosses and you just hop over the little rocks. And sometimes it crosses and you have to take your shoes off. And there's 1 or 2 crossings that I had to take my shoes off and put on my water shoes, because it's pretty fast. And so even like that much water like really pulls my body. And so I had a hiking stick, and you undo your hiking gear just in case you fall, then you don't like die and like get taken underwater and then have this big pack on your back. So you undo it all so that you can slip out of it if you have to. And we walked across this great big part of Missouri Falls a couple times. But when we got 10 miles in, boom, swimming hole. And it was so beautiful. And it was perfect weather. We set up a campfire the first night, and it was perfect. Like, think of your ultimate amazing camping experience, and that was what it was. I mean, we were dirty and tired because we'd walked 10 miles in about 4 hours maybe, which is a lot because you go up and down some pretty amazing steep climbs and stuff. What do they call that? Something staircase. The something staircase. If I think about it, I'll tell you. The winding staircase, I think. And some of them are pretty gnarly. There were a couple of times where to climb up the trail, you're like on your hands pulling up, and so it's not like a walking trail. There are some times where you're like, your stick is helping you up. And then the trail skirts the edge sometimes where you're like, okay, be careful, because the wrong step and you'll fall down the mountain. Like, it was pretty cool. But yeah, the swimming hole was amazing. Now, there was one other group of people at the swimming hole with us, and we never really met them because the campsites are far enough apart that you can be alone if you want to be. Well, we arrived really late. Like, it was dark. It was getting dark. So We literally arrived, saw the campfire from the other people. They were a little further down. We were like, we're going to go right here. And I was like, should I go say hi? And I was like, I will in a minute. I need to get water. We need to set up the tent before it gets too dark. So that's what we started doing. And as soon as we got water and set up the tent, it was pitch dark, like super dark. So then we never actually went over and met them. But the next morning we saw them, and it was probably 4 or 5 guys, maybe college-ish, or maybe high school with their dad. I couldn't really tell. But they had coolers and a great big tent, and you could tell that they didn't backpack it in. So I think right there at the swimming hole, there's a parking area where you can literally just drive up, park your shit, and then, you know, hike it in a few hundred feet or something, and find your campground. Now, I've never found that parking space, so I don't know how to get there, but I think there is. But it was really fun. So the next morning we get up, and I thought it was still morning, but apparently I slept in, because I wake up with the sunshine almost every day. Like, the sun wakes up, I wake up, my body just says, okay, it's time to go. But it was like 11 when we were in the swimming area, and we were swimming, and we had ourselves some breakfast. Every time we ate, we just had those little not frozen meals, dehydrated meals where you just add boiling water. So we had a jet boil, so it was easy. And we jet boiled our water, and then poured it into the package, let it sit. And I had like chicken and rice one night, and I had chicken and mashed potatoes one night, and I had lasagna one night. And they were good. Like, they filled me up. They were full of protein. I was not hungry, so that was cool. And let's see. So the second day, we wake up and we're swimming in the swimming hole for a while, and then we decide we better get on the road because I think it was probably 1 before we got the whole tent broken down and everything stored in our backpacks again. I think my backpack was like 15 pounds. It was not heavy. We can afford and we like the ultralight stuff, so our tent was ultralight, all my gear was ultralight, my pack was ultralight, and then we just knew how to minimize our packing, so we were able to keep things really light. But we set off, and I think we only did like 5 or 6 miles the second day because we just wanted to take it easy. The second day you go up and down a couple pretty big freaking mountains, and it's a lot of up and down, and it's hard. Like, you're not going, I think we averaged like 3 or 4 miles an hour on the first day hike, because a lot of it was pretty flat. But the second day, we were out there for 4 or 5 hours walking, but it was definitely, we didn't get near as far because the mountains were fierce. So the second night, the reason we stop is we're like, oh my gosh, we can hear thunder, we know it's gonna rain, and it's getting kind of dark, and we're like, we better stop when we find a good campsite. So we stopped at about, I think, 6 miles in. We were at a base camp area, and we literally get the base camp open. We find some sticks so we can make fire, and then we put up the tent, and I think we were about to get water and about to maybe start a fire, and you could hear it started pouring down rain. So literally I get naked, like I take everything off so that I don't like take a whole bunch of wet clothes into the tent, and I crawl into the tent naked, and I bring my clothes, which weren't very wet because I got in really fast, and just set them to the side. And then we closed up the tent and just waited it out. And I think it rained, like poured down rain for a solid hour and a half. I remember I was reading a book. I remember I kind of started a movie because we had a movie on our phone, just to kind of wait it out. And after it started to get better, like you could hear that it was not raining anymore, but you could hear the drops still coming down from all of the rain on the trees. But it was still not super dark out, because I think it was maybe 7 o'clock at night. So we get out of the tent, and yes, the pile of sticks that we had are completely, soaked wet, everything's soaking wet. We have some wet fire, so we go ahead and just try to start a fire, and we did okay. I mean, we had a fire for about half hour, 45 minutes, and it never got really big, but it did start to dry out some of the twigs, and then those would catch on fire, and then they'd dry out some more twigs and then catch on fire. So we were doing okay. It was more just for, you know, morale, right? Because you have a fire, so then you're sitting around it and everything. But we cooked our dinner, and I went to bed back in the tent naked because it was just easier because we knew it would probably rain again, and it sure did. In the middle of the night, you have to get up to go to the bathroom a couple times, and sure enough, it's pouring down rain. So you just get up naked, go outside, you do your business, and you go back in the tent all wet. And we had a couple towels. We just dry off and keep going. So the next morning, we woke up, and most of our stuff stayed dry because we knew, like, you know how to pack, and our tent has one of those tent areas for the packs. It's like an outdoor tent area so that you put your packs under it when it rains, and then it kind of covers the packs too, but you're not actually taking the space of the tent. So everything stayed dry, shoes stayed dry. We got up, and then we got ourselves ready for the day. And the whole day, the next day, it didn't rain. So we thought it might, so we kept our pack covers on and everything, but it didn't rain. So last day, we're booking it, because by the third day, you know home is as soon as you hit the car. So you are booking it. Like, you know, I'm done with this. I've slept 2 nights on the ground. I've had 3 meals of dehydrated goodness, and I'm ready to get to the car and get a shower and get home. And so we were booking it. I think we had like 10 miles to go. So we went, but the last day was the hardest in terms of the terrain. Like, we went up and down, I bet 4 mountains. Oh my goodness. Like, you'd have to stop sometimes halfway up the climb to rest. It was a difficult climb. And I'm in really good shape, and we were plastered in sweat, and we'd have to stop like halfway up the climb just to be like, okay, there's that much more. We need to break so we can get some water, and because our legs are on fire from, you know, the hike. And then keep going. And then the down degrees were just as steep, so sometimes it was really hard to go down because you have to slow yourself down so you don't fall. But we made it all the way down and out, and booked it across to finally get back to Missouri Falls. And the last thing that happened at Missouri Falls is, I don't know, maybe a mile away from the car, there was an entrance out to the road. And we were like, we can either walk the road, or we can walk the last mile of the trail that's really right next to the road. So we decided to walk the road because we're sore and we're tired, and we know it's really close, so we'll just do that. And we actually saw 2 guys on an ATV, and we waved them down and said, hey, can you just take us the last mile? And they did. So they gave us a ride the last little bit to our car. And that is our trip to Missouri Falls. It was pretty great. When we got to the car, we were kind of stinky and smelly, but we're smart, so we had a change of clothes in the trunk, and we took a minute to put everything into like a laundry sack so that my car didn't stink. Put everything in the trunk and got on the road home. And it's a good 4 hours home, so, you know, after you actually get done with the hike, you have 4 hours of driving to get home. But it was pretty fantastic. I was like happy. I mean, I was really happy that I could do 26-mile hike in 3 days, because it just shows me that I'm strong. And I honestly thought I wouldn't be able to do it. And so, I mean, I know I'm strong, and I know I'm in shape, and I know I can do it, and I'm hard-headed, right? But I was worried that my back would hurt, because I've always had back problems, or just that I'd give up in my head and then we'd turn around or something. So I was really proud that we got it done. So, I don't know, that's the story of my hike. I don't know if you stuck around for the whole thing or not, but it was a pretty amazing thing. The very next day, like, we get home at like 7 p.m. and the very next day leave for New York City. So it was a lot of hiking, and then literally got up and got on a plane and then booked it around New York City all weekend long. So yes, I had an amazing vacation, is really what it comes down to. An amazing vacation. I don't think I worked for like a solid 6 days, which is a lot, because a lot of times I'll work at night even on the days that I'm on vacation during the day. So I miss the hell out of everybody, Webcam, I'm sure, is just waiting on me, and that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. So, the end. That was my hiking experience, and that's how I feel after hiking, just strong and ready to conquer the next mountain next time around. So let's see. Maybe you can Google some of the stuff. I'll try to put it on the bottom of the vlog so that you guys can look up Missouri Falls and Mena and some of those trails, the Eagle Rock Loop Trail. And thanks for following me on YouTube. It's really fun to share my life. Mwah. Bye.